In pursuit of victory at the sport's highest level, fierce battles will be waged, tensions will rise, and the highest of highs will be met with the lowest of lows. Who will be crowned the champion, and what does it take to rise to the top? This is Inside Off-Road. On this episode, here in the small town of Elk River, Minnesota, home to a motorsports playground known as ERX, opportunity awaits for a hardworking family race team called Carlson Moto.
The first time I ever saw an off-road truck was an RC car. And it was like, man, those are like real trucks. It's not just something Traxxas makes. And then like realizing that those are actually full-size vehicles and people race them and they go really fast. Like man, that'd be kind of cool to see. Like NASCAR would be cool, but I like dirt, like and jumps and all this. So yeah, when I graduated, my parents let me pick a trip and I saw this race in Bark River. Didn't even know what it was, and I'm like, well, let's rent an RV and try that. And my family is like, I'm bored. I'm like, yeah, you're crazy, but sounds good. Where's this place at?
And had never been to an off-road truck race, and Andrew wanted to go, so we rented a camper and went to Bark River and spent the weekend there and just fell in love with it. It was some of the best racing I'd ever seen in my life.
I think we woke up the next morning to like sportsman trucks at 8 a.m. just like ripping through the track, and I'm like, what is that? Like, I thought the race was tonight, and then you go out there and I'm like, there's more than just like the big cool truck class. The most interesting form of racing I've ever watched, and purely 100% just a fan of it.
Just amazing, and just walking the pits and I just remember thinking, well, I remember a couple things. Number one, this is really cool. And then I remember thinking, this is really expensive. I'm looking at the pits and these teams that have got, 1 and 2 trucks and Pro 4s and Pro 2s. And I'm just, I'm a business guy, so I'm trying to add up payroll and I'm trying to figure out how this all works. And I just remember thinking, well, we'll never do that. That's just crazy. Of course, that's kind of twisted how that all worked out, but that was really kind of the beginning. And then the next year, Andrew started racing a Razor in the UTV class in the Torque Series, and he won a few races, and then he got an opportunity to drive a Pro Light for somebody, and we went to Fall Crandon, and without any practice, had never driven the truck, jumped in a Pro Light. And that was really when we got the bug.
I'm the opposite of how I was in snowcross experience-wise. I didn't grow up racing trucks. I didn't hop in a truck until I was in my 20s, but the minute I got in this and I realized that I had a really steep climb to get to where I wanted to be, and I don't want to be 30 by the time I win my first race, it humbled me really quick. I asked a ton of questions. I was having CJ spot for me and Keegan and in their awnings more than I was in my awning, trying to ask them questions. And I had to set that pride aside and just be like, man, if I want to get there, it's not going to be under my own power. So I think a lot of it was I had to go out of my comfort zone and ask questions that made me look stupid and be okay with it.
Yeah, if you want a glimpse of what Andrew was like when he was 2 years old, just look at his son Dallas right now. They are, carbon copies. He was a wild child, all about racing from the time he knew what it was, anything motorized. Crazy passionate about dirt bikes and snowmobiles and trucks and anything that was loud, made noise, and went fast. Started riding dirt. He rode a dirt bike before he rode a pedal bike. He was riding his PW without training wheels before he really could ride a pedal bike, which is a little odd. He's been that way ever since.
It was almost silly. Like, I was a professional snowcross racer, super passionate about it, but I literally had posters of Johnny Greaves on my walls as like a 17-year-old kid. That was like signing autographs at a snowcross race for other kids, and they had posters of me on their wall. But like, I didn't want to be me. I wanted to be Johnny Greaves. In my spare time, I was thinking about trucks. Like, I didn't know how to get there, didn't think I'd get there, but like, I thought that was super cool. Man, those things jump and they spit fire. Like, that's really cool, man.
you know, thinking back to where we were when we started, I never would have imagined that we are where we are today. It's been a ton of fun. It's been great for the family, and I look forward to this race season. We're just, you know, a couple weeks away from the first race. I can hardly take it.
Yeah, this year feels different just because we're not revamping everything. So it's more just check what we've done and then just make small improvements. Last year we took such a big swing, you know, a new class in the UTV and totally redone Pro 4. So we really had a ton of, like this time last year, we were just barely breathing, you know, trying to drink out of a fire hose. So last year was tough in the UTV just because we knew how fast we were because we had so much testing, and I knew I was fast enough to win. So like the first race of the year, we come out here and blew a belt the one day and had issues the other. Like here, we raced Friday, Saturday. I was here Sunday testing just because I couldn't sleep, sitting there thinking about, man, like how close are we? Like we got a race in Lena in 2 weeks and I just blew a belt yesterday and I don't really know why. That's just a heartbreaker to know that you're so fast in the car and know that you're really close. But you know, if we knew what we knew at the end of the year, I think we would have been real close to a championship. So
I think every year could be the year of a championship. I think if you don't go into the season expecting to win, there's something wrong with you. I probably take that a little too far, but I do believe that. I think that this is the year, and a couple reasons why. We've got a great team and we have great equipment. And last year we had, it was our first year racing in the Pro Open UTV and Pro Mod UTV, and we had a brand new car and it was crazy fast, but it took us half a year to get it figured out and to get it consistent. And he was able to win that, you know, the World Championship, and he won a couple other races. He was very competitive when it was running. He was right up front. And when we had some issues, a lot of them were ours, just learning curve, right?
it was a grind. You know, I wouldn't, if I went back, I would do it again, 100%. There was no, I wasn't like, man, that was a train wreck or anything. And ultimately, you know, you guys saw the end result. We won the biggest race of the year in the car. And I feel like no one wrote us off, right? It wasn't like, oh man, he squeaked that one out or whatever. Like, I feel like if people said, if their spotter said Andrew's behind you, like I feel like they knew it wasn't just like gonna be an easy win. Like I was gonna push, and if I wasn't gonna win, I was gonna break trying or something.
And then the Pro 4 was completely redone last year. We redid the suspension from one end to the other, new engine package, and it was over half the season spent getting it dialed in. And it was really frustrating because we had a couple races here at ERX. He led, I mean, he was half a lap ahead or close to it, and you know, had an unfortunate mechanical. So we didn't change much. We're just dialing in, tweaking it. The Razor is wicked fast. We learned a bunch. We're gonna take that thing, and he'll pick up from where he was last fall. Same with the Pro 4. This thing is crazy fast, and we got it dialed in. And the thing with Andrew is he's confident in both of those machines. Last year in that Pro 4, he had lost his confidence because it wasn't responding the way he wanted it to, and it took us so long to get it dialed. So when I see him testing and I see the level of confidence he's got right now, it increases my confidence that we're going to be battling for that championship.
But either way, I'm super pumped. I'm really ready to get on the track, because we've been putting in all like the hard parts here, right? Like when you get to the race weekend, if you did everything you needed to do here and on the test track, the easy part's at the track, right? If your setup's dialed, if your truck's good, like that's the fun part, you know. Then you get to high five on the podium and all that. So we got great partners on board, and I feel like we got some big tricks up our sleeve on as far as what we got on the cars, and I feel really comfortable. That's as it all comes down to. I'm ready to push the cars to the limits.
These trucks are ready. Andrew's ready. The crew's ready. We want to go racing, so bring it on.
When we put our mind to it, like you don't quit till you see God.
Stay tuned for the next episode where the Champion Off-Road Series will kick off the 2021 season, roaring into Antigo, Wisconsin.
Super hot in there. I was.
Oh, and Greaves got into Jenny.
Something else was broken.
To that hairpin, and Carlson's going to go all the way around. Carlson all over the back door here.
A 10 on it, and I about tipped over.